Right now at 6, leaders at Duke Energy are apologizing as they are forced to answer the question, what happened? You'll remember those rolling blackouts over Christmas weekend left thousands in the cold and in the dark for hours. Some were without power for days. Today, Duke Energy appeared before the North Carolina Utilities Commission to address the problems. Duke officials also apologizing, as we mentioned, to all of their customers, admitting that the system failed. But some neighbors say the power outage was only the beginning of the problem. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre joining us live from South Charlotte, and that's where, Jesse, you spoke with families who were impacted by the outage, but also by what came next. So what did they have to say?
Exactly. Well, you know, the families I spoke to say first they were frustrated that they weren't notified about the outages before the power went out, and then the length of time it took for the power to be restored. But for some people I spoke to, the outages led to some even bigger problems.
At the very beginning, I want to express how sorry we are for what our customers experienced.
About 500,000 customers were powerless after Duke Energy officials say they deployed rolling outages Christmas Eve to reduce stress on the grid during frigid cold temps and a high demand for energy. All this, officials say, to prevent a larger disaster.
Versus just waking up at 7 a.m. on Christmas Eve and you have nothing. So I definitely am frustrated that the communication was non-existent whatsoever.
Some families left in the dark for several hours.
We were out 9 hours. Luckily, I had a fireplace, to keep the place warm.
Tom Deason says when the lights came back on, so did the sprinklers at the Providence Court complex, damaging several units.
And there was literally water running down the walls, running off his porch. This lower neighbor, whole ceiling fell in.
Deason says he is grateful his apartment was not directly impacted, but he feels for his neighbors, many who were away on vacation for the holidays.
Well, lost everything.
So he opened his doors.
My neighbors here, they had, inches of water on the floor. They came with sopping wet feet and sweatpants on, whatever, so I gave them what I had.
Deason also made space in his garage so they could store some of their items. And then he turned to the Nextdoor app asking for donations, and they came pouring in. He says his community was in need and he knew he had to help.
Man, that's what people ought to be doing.
Deason says he was surprised by the level of support he received in the community. He received several donations like blankets, clothing, water, so that he can help those that were in need. Live in South Charlotte, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
An unfortunate situation, Jesse, but yes, great to see the folks rallying to support each other.